Hey everyone, author Noah Barfield here, and welcome to Writer's Corner. So at the time of this video being put out, the holidays are now over. Aww. But New Year's is almost approaching, which also happens to be one of my younger brother's birthdays. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make a video since it's going to be really close and we'll be planning birthday stuff. But if I am, it'll be out next Monday as per usual. But the holidays are over, New Year's is approaching, and so it's a time for new things to start happening. And so in the spirit of new things, I'll be discussing a topic that I haven't broached at all over the course of any of my videos. So the topic for today's Writer's Corner video is going to be writing characters of the opposite sex. But how are you gonna tell us about this? You're a dude, you can only tell us how to write dudes. That is not true, actually. I have a lot of female friends, and I've been told I write the female perspective really well by multiple different people, though I don't know what that really means, the female perspective. My characters are just people to me. Actually, they're just kind of figments of my own imagination, which is what they really are. But anyway, yes, we're going to be talking about writing characters of the opposite sex than what you are, which some people find really easy, some people find really difficult. And before I get any further, I just want to say we'll be talking about sex as in biologically, not in the various gender roles or anything like that. Alright, so first off, I have some general tips for both ladies and gentlemen, and we'll get started on that right now. So probably the first thing that you want to do, whether you're a lady or a gentleman, is you want to focus on the personality of your character. What that means is you don't want to think of them, okay, this is a guy, I'm going to write them as a guy. No, write them as a character, envision them, picture how they're going to act and react. Focus on their personality, and perhaps their sex will just fit into that eventually. I have this character in my head and I keep going back and forth whether I want them to be a guy or a girl, and I think I finally settled on girl. It was a little weird for me. I just kept going back and forth because I focused on the personality and the various different personality traits, not so much on the physical aspects or how biological things are going to affect their mentality, which can happen, and I'll talk about that a little later. But probably the first thing you want to do is just focus on their mentality and their personality. The next thing you want to do is you want to create a character, not a personification. Meaning you don't want to be like, okay, this is going to be my girl character, or this is going to be my guy character. No, you want to create a character, a person, not some personification of the ideal female, or like a rough and tumble gentleman, or a dastardly mastermind villainess. No, you want to create a character. You want to create a set of personality traits, a set of ideals, bonds, and flaws that all commingle together into this jumbled, chaotic mess that is life. So doing that, you can't really just be like, I want this person to be a girl, unless you really know how to write that. I would start out by, like I said before, focusing on personality, envisioning the character, and not trying to personify them and put them in a box until the very end. And then my third tip, which is probably the one that's going to be the most helpful for people out there, is use real people as a base for your characters. If you have a lot of guy friends, use one of your different or all of your different guy friends as a base for one of your male characters. Maybe you'll combine all of your guy friends together and that's the male character, or one of them, in your story. If you have a lot of female friends, or you even know just a couple of ladies, ask them some different questions, pay attention to them, like really pay attention to their methods, stalker level attention to detail on ladies and gentlemen, and see how they tick, what they're doing, how they react to things, how do they react differently than you do. Pay attention to all these different things, and not only people you know, but also people on the street, conversations you see in different media. Pay attention to all of these and see how that can help affect and change your story writing with multiple different characters of different sexes for the better. Now we've moved on from general tips to tips for the ladies who are going to be writing gentlemen. So if you're a gal writing a guy, I really only have a couple tips for you. First off, try and keep in mind that most guys aren't overly simple. We're not simple, we're just more straightforward. Meaning we have a very clear vision of what we want. Sometimes that gets mired because, men. But most of the time, we have a pretty clear objective of what we want, and we have small deviations, but we're oftentimes very goal-oriented on different things, unless we procrastinate forever. We're more straightforward, and there's not a lot of complexity there. Of course, we have complex emotions and feelings, but most of the time that doesn't arise unless it's an incredibly emotional conversation, which we only sometimes see as necessary rather than therapeutic. And next one, it's about biology. Now, I'm not going to get into hormones and all those different things. I'm just going to be talking about physical aspects. Meaning, for majority of the guys, it is easier to build muscle and everything than most women. And most guys are going to be taller than most women. Meaning they're going to have size advantages. So try and think about how you would react if you were about 3 times stronger and maybe 6 inches taller. Think about that. How would you react to someone punching you in the face or calling you a liar? How would you react to that, having different feelings, having a more keen sense of anger, and how easy that is to lash out at people? And also, how would you use the strength to your advantage? How could it be possibly a disadvantage whenever you're facing smaller opponents or faster ones? Guys aren't always tall and stronger, but that's a majority of the case commonly. I mean, I've seen some ladies at the gym that put that to bed, but most of the time guys are gonna be taller and easier to build muscle. So keep that in mind especially whenever you're writing fight scenes or even romantic ones. Because if you have like a 6'3" guy who is incredibly strong, it's really easy to crush people. So keep that in mind. Now for the gentlemen writing the ladies. First off, what you want to do is you want to focus, guys, on writing more emotions. Focus on more of the emotions that the ladies are feeling. From my own experience, writing the female perspective, as well as knowing lots of ladies and just constantly talking to them all the time and them talking to me, I've pretty much discovered that there's more emotional conversations and there's more emotional aspects going on. Guys are, like I've said, a lot more straightforward in my opinion, at least all of the ones that I've met. So ladies tend to be a little more emotional, and there tends to be a little more complexity and multiple layers to those emotions. So you're going to have to not only think, okay, is she feeling angry? Why is she feeling angry? What else is she feeling? Because this isn't just going to be straight up anger, there's going to be other emotions in there that fit within the sphere of what she's feeling. Because it's not just a straight up emotion that women commonly feel, in my personal opinion, but it's more of a sphere of all the different emotions that combine to create a mental state or overall feeling that they have. Like they might feel aggravated, but that aggravation might not be from anger, but more from sadness or betrayal, which are both emotions that a lot of people feel, but women can commonly feel them more acutely, in my personal experience. So guys, think about the emotions that your lady characters are feeling. If they're women and they're feeling emotions, they're probably going to be a lot more powerful, but they're also going to be mixes of other emotions in there. Don't forget there's going to be more complexity, and emotions are going to be there more just in general. The second thing you want to keep in mind, like with the ladies, is to keep in mind their physique. Ladies are commonly going to be smaller and not as strong as men. Unless you have a reverse society sort of thing where women are like men and men are like women in your book or what have you, the common case with most biology and worlds that are like Earth is that women are going to be smaller and it's going to be more difficult for them to build lots and lots of heavy lifting muscle. That is not always the case, but that's the general case from my personal experience. So think about this, they're not always going to have the advantage in brute strength. They might have to rely more on speed, tactics, or maybe even weakening their opponent beforehand. Also, guys are a little more straightforward, like I've said, so they can be kind of more easily manipulated sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. So women will commonly use that to their advantage as well. They're very insightful into what guys are feeling most of the time, and so can use that to help better predict in a fight or in an argument. So that's it for writing characters of the opposite sex. Now it's time that I brag about my book. My novel, Legendland, this fantastic piece of literature right here, is available on a plethora of places. Legendland is available on a plethora of places. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, Smashwords, iTunes, my publisher's website, Amazon, or my website, www.arc-storm.com. If you get off of there, I will sign it for you, and you will get to frame that on the wall, enjoy it however you see fit. Also, if you're wanting to keep up to date with me and all the stuff that I'm doing, don't forget to subscribe, leave comments below, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Wattpad, Goodreads, all of those places, and just continue to watch my videos. I hope that this has been helpful and that you continue to enjoy.